What's up, Zap Accounting Genius? Ngayon, aaralin natin ang journal entries. So, ano ba muna ang journal? Journal, a chronological record of business transactions. This is the book of accounts where the information is initially recorded. Thus, this is also known as the book of original entry. Ibig sabihin, dito unang nire-record yung mga transaction ng business. Kung ano yung nangyaring business transaction noong January 1, January 2, January 3, ganun. Journalizing is done through the preparation of journal entries. At convenient intervals, the debit and the credit amounts recorded in the journal are transferred or posted to the account in the ledger, also known as the book of final entry. So kung may original entry, may final entry. Halimbawa, nung June 1, nakatanggap ka ng allowance sa tatay mo. Eto kunwari yung entry. Nung June 5, bumili ka ng books, so nabawasan yung cash mo. Nung June 10, nagbayad si Emberlou. Di mo siya kilala? Basta si Emberlou. Binayaran niya yung utang na sayo. Di nadagdagan din yung cash mo ulit. Ganyan ang laman ni journal. Ngayon, nag-throwback Thursday ka. Kung gusto mong malaman ang summary version sa kung anong nangyari sa cash mo, pupunta ka kay ledger. Parang ganite ang simplified version. This is an example of a two-column general journal. The first part is the date, kung kailan nangyari yung business transaction. Account titles, kung ano yung mga account na tinutukoy, na makikita mo sa description or particulars. The monetary values under the debit and credit, and the explanation, and the posting reference. Take note, for the amount sa debit and credit side, yung nasa pinakadulo sa right is the centavo area. So yung nakikita mo ngayon is 50 pesos, not 5,000. Yung sumunod is 150 pesos, not 15,000. Ito example, 550,000. So, sa centavo area, walang laman. Usually, ang ginagamit dito is hyphen or dash pag walang amount. Take note na hindi ka na naglalagay ng comma or tuldok kasi pag naglagay ka, naku, bibilugan pa ng teacher mo. Next. Centavo area, 50. Then, 0, 2, 0, 5, 4. 75 cents, 0, 2, 1. Ngayon, punta na tayo sa sample transactions. On June 12, 2020, Mr. Wright established an enterprise under the name Mr. Wright ang icing sa ibabaw ng cupcake mo. The joke. On June 12, 2020, Mr. Wright established an enterprise under the name Mr. Wright Co. Si Mr. Wright ay event coordinator. On June 13, Mr. Wright transferred cash from a personal bank account to an account to be used for the business. 50,000. Ibig sabihin, nag-invest si Mr. Wright sa business niya. Nalagdagan cash ni business. So, debit cash, 50,000. Nadagdagan si capital. Credit Mr. Wright capital for 50K. Explanation? Depende sa trip mo. Ang trip ko, to record initial investment of Mr. Wright. Pwede ring to record cash invested by Mr. Wright. Basta brief explanation lang na makabuluhan. Also, take note na slightly indented si credit account at naka-indent din ng slide sa explanation. Okie-dokie? June 14. Purchased supplies for cash, 5,000. Bumili si Mr. Wright ng supplies na magagamit sa business. So, debit supplies an asset account. Dahil nabawasan si cash, credit cash 5,000. To record supplies purchased in cash, or to record cash purchase of supplies, or to record supplies purchased. Again, depende sa trip mo. June 14. Paid taxes and business permits of 2,000 pesos. Nagbayad si Mr. Wright ng taxes and permits kasi mabuti siyang mamamayan. Debit taxes and licenses and expense account, 2,000. Credit cash, 2,000. To record payment for taxes and permits. Or, to record taxes and licenses paid. June 14. Purchased tools and supplies on account from Miss Wrong, 10,000. Bumili si Mr. Wright ng supplies on account. Ibig sabihin, utang. Debit supplies, 10,000. Credit accounts payable, 10,000. To record tools and supplies purchased on account. Note lang dito, bes. Pwedeng accounts payable lang ang gamitin or accounts payable dash Miss Wrong to be specific. Again, pwede pero depende sa account titles sa problem kung stated. June 15. Purchased a second-hand van from X Cars for 50,000 pesos. Mr. Wright initially paid 10,000 pesos and gave a note payable in 4 months for the remainder. Bumili si Mr. Wright ng sasakyan. Ano yung sasakyan? Expense account. Very good, mali. Ito ay asset account dahil mapapakinabangan pa ni Mr. Wright. Debit automobile for 50K? O kung anong account title ang nakasaad sa problem. Kung ang nakasaad sa problem ay second-hand van or van, yun ang gagamitin. Next, paid 10K, so credit cash 10K. Notes payable daw yung balance, so credit notes payable 40K. Balance. June 16. Paid the monthly rent of the office space, 3,000. Debit rent expense, 3,000. Credit cash, 3,000. To record the monthly rent of office space. Singit ko lang ako nung 101, nilalagay ko lang to record the rent expense, to record supplies expense, to record utilities expense. Kinokopya ko lang yung nasa debit or credit side. Lumulusot naman. June 17. Purchased supplies on account from Mr. Left, 15,000. Umutang daw tayo ng supplies, so debit supplies asset account 15K. Credit accounts payable Mr. Left or accounts payable pwede na rin 15K. To record purchase of supplies on account. June 17. Received 20,000 cash for the 2-day event organized. Nakatanggap daw si Mr. Wright ng pera. So, debit cash, 20,000. Kumita siya sa inorganize niya na event. Credit service revenue, 20K. June 20. Organized Mrs. Happy's wedding. Half of the 30,000 total bill was paid. The balance is on account. Again, nag-organize si Mr. Wright ng event, pero medyo utang, medyo cash. So, meron tayong compound entry. Yung kalahati, we received cash. So, debit cash, 15,000. Yung kalahati naman, inutang. So, debit accounts receivable, 15K. In total, kumita tayo ng 30K. Credit service revenue, 30K. June 21. Supplies worth 10,000 has been used. Okay, nagamit daw ni Mr. Wright yung 10K na supplies. So, expense na. Debit supplies expense, 10K. I-credit mo na ngayon yung nawala na supplies na di mo na nakikita at di mo na mapapakinabangan. Credit supplies, 10K. June 22. Withdrew 10,000 cash for personal use. Debit Mr. Wright drawings, 10K. Credit cash, 10K. Again, kaya ito nire-record is because magkaiba si owner at magkaiba si business ni owner. June 22. Paid 15,000 salaries of employees. Nagpasahod. Wow. Expense. Debit salaries expense, 15K. Credit cash na binigay, 15K. June 23. Paid half of the 10,000 amount payable to Miss Wrong. Diba kanina nag-record na tayo ng accounts payable kay Miss Wrong? Ngayon babawasan natin siya. Debit accounts payable for 10K. Kabawasan sa liability. Credit cash, 10K. Take note na kung ano yung ginamit mo na accounts payable. Kung accounts payable lang or accounts payable dash Miss Wrong, yun din dapat ang gamitin mo pag magre-reverse ka. Since ang gamit natin kanina is accounts payable Miss Wrong, yun din ang gagamitin natin ngayon. Okidoki? June 24. Received the balance for Mrs. Happy's wedding, 15,000. Natanggap na ni Mr. Wright yung pinautang na kay Mrs. Happy. Sana all happy. Debit cash, 15,000. Magbabawas ka ngayon ng receivable mo. Credit accounts receivable, Mrs. Happy, for 15K. June 25. Mr. Wright gave 20,000 to his lover, Miss Chu. So, nagbigay daw siya ng cash kay Miss Chu. Anong entry? Credit cash dahil nagbigay siya ng pera. Debit love for 20,000. Next. De joke. Unang-una, vague yung given transaction. Bakit siya nagbigay ng cash, diba? Dapat may kapalit. Kasi lahat ng bagay dapat may kapalit sa accounting. Kung sana, Mr. Wright purchased supplies from Miss Chu, his lover, for 20,000 cash. Supplies shall be used for the business. Yan, pwede pa. What if Mr. Wright purchased supplies from Miss Chu using his personal cash for 20,000? May entry ba? Wala. Kasi personal cash niya ang ginamit niya. Wala tayong pake doon. Sa business lang tayo may pake. June 25. Received invoice for minor repairs on a van to be paid on June 30, 2000. Nakatanggap daw ng invoice si Mr. Wright para sa minor repairs niya dun sa van. Wala namang sinabi na nabayaran na, di ba? And specifically stated na to be paid on June 30. So, utang pa lang. Debit repairs and maintenance and expense account for 2,000. Credit accounts payable for 2,000 dahil nagkautang si Mr. Wright. June 25. Received water and electricity bill for the month, 2,500, to be paid on June 30. Dito parang same lang ni repairs and maintenance kanina. Debit utilities expense, 2,500. Credit accounts payable, 2,500. June 26. Transferred to the business personal furniture worth 8,000. Naglagay daw si Mr. Wright ng furniture sa business. So, additional asset ni business. Debit furniture, 8,000. Credit Mr. Wright capital for 8K. Dahil nadagdagan investment ni Mr. Wright. June 30. Paid the 2,000 worth of minor repairs on June 25. Binayaran na ni Mr. Wright yung minor repairs. So, i-reverse natin yung AP. Debit accounts payable to decrease a liability account, 2,000. Credit cash to decrease the asset account, 2,000. Paid the water and electricity bill, 2,500. Binayaran na rin ni Mr. Wright yung tubig at kuryente. So, debit accounts payable, 2,500. Credit cash, 2,500. Kung mapapansin nyo, same accounts lang yung ginamit sa minor repairs and for the payment of water and electricity. Same date din na nangyari. Dito, kung minsanang sinabi sa problem yung transaction, pwede naman nating iminsanan yung entry, di ba? Just add 2,500 and 2,000. The end. Sana natuto kayo. Pero alam nyo sa totoong buhay, di ba nagpapakahirap tayo as students na mag-journal entry and mag-cursive and indent, pero sa work, ibang-iba. Ang pinaka-importante, alam mo pinaka-basic. Ano ang debit at credit? At ano-anong mga i-debit at i-credit? Anyways, ganbate ko na say.